look at this. We were trying to race to to lions, and we've got Mr. T. Hello, T. Not looking too bad. Still a bit skinny. So as we turned onto Cheetah Cut Line at high speed, VM says there's a leopard in the road. Oh dear, it's all happening. Stations located Tingana, Cheetah Cut Line Mobile South at the moment. Okay, look at that. You never know what's going to happen when you're out on a live safari. And you can see he's still looking a little bit skinny. But not... Sorry, VM, that was my fault. Wrong gear. But he's definitely on the move, on the prowl. He's still scent marking. He's still holding, but obviously a much smaller territory than he once did. Unfortunately, we're right on the corner. If he goes into Chitwa, it'll be okay, but if he goes to the west slightly, he's going to move out of our area. So we'll stick with him for now. Now, this is quite funny because I got told he went in the complete opposite direction. Yeah, he does look quite skinny, Judy. Judy says, shame, he does look quite skinny. He is skinny, but he's not dire at the moment, and he has looked worse. So just in case he goes into Little Gari, I'm just going to call the guys in the east. Stations Tingana crossing Gari Main at JC Brink. One station here. He's not moving because of the lion fight, John. He's quite far away from there, in leopard terms, not in car terms. Okay, so he's heading straight towards Little Pan. Maybe he'll stop for a drink. Okay, now we've got lots of fights going on all over the place. And leopard girl, generally leopards will start fighting for their territory. Let's just get into a good spot for you there, VM. At about sort of 5 years old, 6 years old, they'll start trying to claim territory from an older male. And then throughout their life, till they're too old to hold territory, so they're 12, even sometimes as young as 10, then they will be fighting to some point throughout their whole life. There we go, isn't that lovely? You can actually hear him lapping it up from here. Beautiful. He is still a magnificent leopard, even though he is sort of getting on in the years. He's facing quite a lot of pressure at the moment from Hukamuri in the west and Quarantine to the east. And of course his longtime rival Djuma to the north. And then I'm not sure which male leopard's to the south. I think it's also Quarantine. So Mr. T does have an impressive dewlap purple. They protect him when he's fighting. Very, very thirsty. Now, we were told he actually crossed west into Little Gowrie, and we've had him coming from the east. And he's actually come out of Torchwood. Interesting. Well, Vim, you wanted a leopard this morning? Oh, very, very thirsty. I wonder where he's been wandering overnight. Okay, I'm going to stick with him as long as we can. Let's say he might just pop over the boundary in this area. We're right on the edge of Chitwa. Okay, let's catch up with him. Now, his dewlap's not going to get smaller as he gets older, Carol, but it might become a bit more floppy as he loses condition, but it's definitely not going to get smaller. Okay. He might head down towards the dam. I'm hoping he does. What are you smelling? Nothing that interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to shoot around in front of him so he can walk past us. Hi, Emma. Emma, Tingana is most likely to be killed by another male rather than to die of old age. It's very, very seldom that leopards or lions ever die of old age. They're normally killed by a competitor. There we go. He's hoping he's going to walk right next to us. There we go. Here he comes. The old man of the north. Such pressure he's facing from the other male leopards at the moment. There we go. He's going to walk right past us. Hey, big boy. You can see. Now, when he first arrived in the northern Sabi Sands, he was quite shy. And now, you can see he takes absolutely no interest of the vehicles around us. Okay, well, we're going to keep following Mr. T. In the meantime, let's send you back to Tristan, who's on foot. There we go. Tingana is moving right next to us again. He's still mobile south down the boundary. Isn't that awesome? Right next to us. I do love spending time with these big cats. Okay, let's stick with him. As I say, he's right on the boundary. If he goes to the right, he's out of our zone, but he might head up the Mulwanini to the left behind the dam wall. Oh, quickly across the Taylor. Well, he's still moving straight down the boundary. He hasn't turned off yet, but he's walked quite far, quite quickly this morning. So we're actually coming up towards the next boundary, which is at the bottom of Chitwa. So we'll see what happens now, whether he turns to the east or he keeps going south. Just Okay, so we're with him now. So the top of the hill at the end of the road there's sort of the next boundary, more or less, on the horizon. And he's moving quite steadily. Let's get into the right gear. Maybe first the best. There we go. Let me just roll on behind him. Now, the male leopard who holds the largest territory at the moment, Eugene, is the Anderson male. And so Anderson male, probably followed by Djuma or Hukumuri. Quarantine's also getting quite a big territory at the moment, but I'd say Anderson definitely holds the largest territory at the moment. So here we go, you can see. You can hear the squirrels shouting at him as he walks. He's not being very stealthy at the moment. The squirrels are very upset. Now I'm hoping he does turn in to the left at some point. And see, his ears are still flitting about. He's definitely still conscious of what's going on around. I'm hoping he does spot something to stalk on a nice cool morning like this. And here at Chin Spot Battis in the distance. He must take left at the next road. Tingana is getting on, so he is suffering a little bit. Douglas, health issues, generally being beaten up by other leopards is the biggest health issue that older leopards suffer from. Tingana got a bit of a hiding from Hukumuri. And then also, I suppose, lack of speed. They get obviously a bit slower as they get older. Let's see. Is he listening? Is he listening? He's going to the left. That's great news. But he is going into some thickets there. We'll see if we can follow him. Just, Dole, you first stand by. Please, can you take over controlling that vessel's old driveway at Junction? He's now mobile slightly more to the east into Chitwa. Okay, so I was just handing over the control of the sighting to my brother, so I don't need to talk on the radio. I'm just going to jump around ahead of him. Now, the fact that he's left the road, and just trying to find a nice, there we go, clear spot to get off the road here. And so it's quite a thick area. He might be heading for this big termite mound. Yeah, is what I think. So we're just going to try and get into the spot ahead of the termite mound. Hold on. Whoop. Okay. He might go up to the top of this termite mound. He might just carry on past. Normally, no, he's not being a normal leopard today. He's going to carry on past the termite mound. I'm just going to go around it. Okay. We're getting quite close to the southern boundary of Chitwa, so I think let's just stick with him for a little bit. We might not get too many more views of him if he crosses the southern boundary. I'm going to get some nice views of him shortly. There he is. It's always wonderful to watch a leopard moving through the grass. See how they sort of melt in and out. Now he's looking up in the tree. I also saw him looking up the tree. So I decided to have a look, see if there's anything up there, but I can't see anything. He's hoping there was a free meal about. Now, there's definitely signs of a leopard climbing this tree at some point. So maybe you can smell something. So you can actually see where little flakes of the marula bark have come off where another leopard has climbed this tree. And so you can see those little patches there. Looks like he's definitely smelt something here. It would be quite unusual if he climbed that tree with no meat in it. I think he's just smelling, which could be Hasana here, it could be Kuchava. What's there, big boy? Look at that. I said it's going to be very unusual if he climbs a tree with no meat in it. I wonder what... Look at that. Now, it's very unusual that male leopards climb trees like this with no good reason. And he must be smelling something. There might have been a kill. Might have been a kill in this tree. But there's a... Wasn't that beautiful? Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I say it's very unusual for male leopards to just climb trees. Here we go. Look at him. Coming down again. Very unusual behavior. Monkey's alarm calling, but I don't think they're for him. So it could very easily be another leopard. Probably Hasana in the area. There we go. He's mobile again. Heading back towards the boundary. I think he must have smelled something. Now, if we have a look at the tree quickly, Vempy, you can see how I knew another leopard had climbed that tree. So now you can see there's more of those marks now that he's come down the tree and gone up the tree. Very interesting. I wonder what he was thinking. Okay. Now, out in the African bush, oh, that stick nearly got me. It's very unusual for animals sort of to get to the age where eyesight starts to fail and all that type of stuff. They will normally die from competition with other animals far before they get to that eyesight failing stage. That type of stuff only really happens in captivity. In the wild, it's a tough place, and they don't really ever get to that stage. So, stations, there's also a monkey's alarm calling, sounds like to the east of the brown ivory tree. Well, he nearly gave us a slip through some thickets, but he has come back and changed direction completely. He's heading sort of northeast now, which is good for us. He's heading back towards the dam. We're in a small open area quite close by, and he might go for another drink. So let's get into position to see if he goes for another drink. Try to get around in front of him. It doesn't look like he's going to stop for a drink. He's definitely on the hunt. And leadwoods everywhere. Let's try to get around. Now, the reason I'm hesitant to drive over and through leadwoods is I don't feel like changing tires today. And there's quite a lot of little leadwoods here. Looks like he was heading down this path, wasn't it, Jim? Here he comes. So So we managed to stick with him through the thickets. He might head down towards the Mulwanini to directly behind the dam wall. He seems to like that area. He's covered a fair bit of distance since we've been with him, and who knows how far he walked before we found him. Hello, old man. He could definitely do with a meal. I think he's finished all the baby waterbuck around Chitwa Dam. Oops, sorry, my head, Vim. Now you see he's right next to us now again. No more than about 1.5 meters. Completely nonplussed with the vehicles. So he's heading back towards the dam wall. Just going to let other people take a chance to get in front, and I'm going to loop ahead of him again. If he keeps walking down that road, and we'll wait from there. Now, one of the other reasons I really like looping ahead of leopards and lions in particular is it gives me a chance to see what's up ahead. So if there's a nyala or waterbuck or impala, so we can put ourselves in a position to see how he's going to hunt, and make sure we're in a good position to see what's happening without interfering in the hunt. Okay. So we'll see which junction he takes here. Oh, my brother is calling me. Sorry, 1 second. Go ahead, Dom. Just stand by, I'm live. I'll touch you in 5. Okay. It looks like he's going into this difficult area again, behind the dam wall. So if he drops down, we're going to have to shoot around quite far. Now, leopard scent marking, Douglas, it depends on a lot of different things. Tingana at the moment, or most male leopards after rain, will scent mark quite profusely to re-scent their areas. We've seen Hokomuri doing it now. Tingana, except Tingana's territory has shrunk with the moving of Hokomuri, and quarantines even started moving into traditional Tingana territory. I think we're going to lose him shortly. Hopefully we'll be able to find him again on the other side. But we're not going to be able to even dream of getting a car through these Tambuti thickets. Let's just have a look at him disappearing down. So the little ponds where the baby crocodiles are just in here, but he's slightly to the southeast of it, and you'll see why I say it's near impossible to follow. You can see it's a wall of green in there. So I think we're going to shoot round down into the little riverbed to catch up with him. While we do that, let's go across to Tristan, who's obviously getting hungry because he started eating grass. Well, he's on the other side of some very marshy, muddy areas that I'm not even going to attempt, but you can just see him through the Tambuti thicket there. And he's heading, we're directly below the dam at the moment, and I just had a look at all the tracks down there. There are so many tracks that he's been spending a lot of time here. Okay, where is he going now? I wonder if he's going to try catch a baby crocodile. Let's just try and move above him there, Liam. Now, even though some of these areas look not bad, if you try to drive through there, you might get very stuck. So we shall go round that area. Now, there he is. There's a lot of baby crocs here And leopards will, as I say, are opportunists, and especially a hungry leopard like him. He might be looking not only for baby crocodiles in this little swampy patch here, but also for monitor lizards, anything he can find really. He's moved right to the edge of one of these little marshes. He's sitting and listening and watching at the moment. It's incredible the patience that leopards have. You can see he's just listening. He's still looking reasonably alert. And he's going to have a snooze. And he's decided he's walked long and far enough today. Time for a rest. Unless something happens to wander towards him. I don't think we're going to get a better view, unfortunately, without getting very stuck. Giving himself a little clean after his busy morning. And humidity Tristan was talking about has definitely set in. So as the mist cleared, we thought the sun would just burst out, but there seems to be a front of clouds that have moved in. And you can see how incredible the camouflage is. I said Tingana might be hunting for those baby crocs that live around here. But Douglas is wondering, has a crocodile ever eaten a leopard? I'm sure they have. I've never seen it. It's one of those very rare things. But I'm certain somewhere in Africa, a crocodile has most certainly eaten a leopard. Probably in places like the Okavango, South Luangwa, where, or even Lower Zambezi, or Kagera, or Queen Elizabeth, where quite a few of the animals actually, or the lions, the leopards, hyenas, and even the wild dogs have to cross deep bodies of water quite regularly. You can see his ears are still going. I'm trying to see. I don't see anything. There's a black crake. Well spotted, VM. Beautiful little secretive bird that hangs about in the marshes. And normally they are hidden in the long grass. And there's a nice view of one out in the open. Doesn't know we're watching it. You can see they're not made for sitting on branches so much. They've got big, wide feet for walking on marshy areas. So they can be a bit cumbersome when they're not in the marsh. You can see how long their toes are. Oh, not very elegant at all when it comes to balancing and on branches. Far more at home on the ground and in the grass. Now you can see he's still alert and sitting there, so definitely not bored. Banana, I'd say yes, certain animals get bored, particularly young animals and particularly predator cubs. So hyenas, lions, leopards, wild dogs, their cubs and pups definitely do get bored. I almost would say Hosanna still gets bored. And he does silly things to entertain himself.